I think at one point he initially thought there was like 15,000 in value here, and once we totaled everything up, I think we got to...
All right, this is it in all its glory.
That's awesome, man. He came to the shop, and he's like, I think I'm going to get rid of everything. And then as he's moving, they're moving to a house that isn't as big as this one. You got a lot of bedrooms here. You don't need this many now. So this has got to go.
So as I've done it, I've kind of, figured out how I'm going to categorize and all that good stuff. Don't have quite as much Exorcist stuff as I'd like, but then we get into our House of 1,000, Devil's Reject.
But now that you have this room, where do you hang out in it? You just lay down?
I lay down on the floor. I got this cool little thing that I put my phone in and just kind of set it up on because I don't have room for a TV in here. So
I was gonna say, at least you had to put like a recliner here.
Yeah.
So you could just, on a swivel.
I'll open the door and come in here and just look around, man. And it's just like, there's so much stuff. It's just so cool. So.
I know. Eventually I'm gonna have my room done. I have a basement and it's just full, but a lot of it's just packed. It's not face out. Everything's packed.
Yeah.
For efficiency, sideways,
Yep.
But this is cool. So yeah, so you're heavy on Myers.
Oh yeah, Myers is my dude. So like, it's all across the top. Of course, you probably recognize some of the pieces. I got a lot from you.
Yeah, you got a lot here.
Yeah.
Or a lot from the shop.
Everything's in boxes or has boxes close to it.
That's cool.
This was actually made by a guy.
Yeah, so this is Sid.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you just did that out of clay?
Yeah. Yep.
He was such a nice guy too. It was sad to see him go.
Yeah, I can't.
And he was the only guy. I swear, maybe I'm misremembering this. It was $10 an autograph. Am I right?
I never got to meet him, man. That's the biggest thing. I wished I would have, but
I think it was just $10.
That's great.
Everybody
gets into that position and now they want 100, and even you can't even stand next to them. So that's another one off there.
Oh, all right. So there's Mosley. Yeah. Bill Mosley's nice too. He's a great guy. Oh yeah. So yeah.
Yep.
Well, Devil's Rejects. That's classic.
Oh yeah, definitely is. And then that's that.
Not so much. What'd you think of 3 from Hell?
It was
CGI. Everything was the blood was CGI. The arrow. She couldn't even shoot real arrows. If you watch the documentary,
really,
she would go like this with it. Then they would take it out and they'd CGI.
That's crazy. Well, they went back and forth so many times trying to get Sid into it, and I think
because his health was already.
Yeah, if they could have just done it earlier, I think it would have been pretty great. I like Rob Zombie as a director.
Travis drew a really killer 3 from Hell piece.
Oh yeah.
Where we didn't know anything, so he has him outside the gates or something, and he's got Baby, or Sherry Moon, Mosley and Sid Haig. I'll show it to you. It's incredible.
I think he may have shown it to me because he showed me several pieces.
It was so good, and I have video of Travis talking with Sid Haig, and it was like he sat down behind the table and he's showing. And he was just so excited about it. Like, he just thought it was so amazing. And he said his son did art. And he started talking about his son.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
This is actually from 78. So.
What do you mean? From 1978?
Well, no, it was from the movie 78.
Oh.
How the pumpkin was carved and everything.
Yeah.
So I made a light out of it. I mean, it's kind of a one-off situation, but it's kind of cool.
That's cool.
Goes along with it. I've gotten to a point where I got to go back and look at pictures when I get things because I'll buy 2 of them now. So
one of these just came in the shop.
Really?
Original.
Ah.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it.
I can imagine.
Yeah, I was like, I was like, that's one of the ones I've always wanted.
So that one, the Beetlejuice, it come out of a theater.
Oh, so sweet.
Yeah, it was. I guess it's considered original because it was in a theater. So.
Oh yeah, so it should be double-sided then.
Maybe I'm not sure. It was in the in the frame when I got it.
Yeah, I haven't seen the new one yet.
It's great. Actually, I like it a little bit better than I liked the first, to be honest with you.
So what is this?
It's just a stand-up.
But from what? Oh, you just bought
prop.
it. It's not it's not like a theater standee or video.
I got it from a guy, and he said that he got it off a pallet of different things, and I don't know. It may be.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It could be. I'm not.
I mean, we got stuff that's just there's so many different.
Yeah, so I
things.
got to see the new one. I haven't. I saw the original.
Yeah, you need to see it. It's great.
All right.
It gets a little long-winded at one point where they do he does a little song and stuff, which is kind of nerve-wracking, but it's still good.
Now, who makes these giant ones? Is this like Spirit or?
Yeah, Spirit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you come when we had her in the store?
No,
She
but
was
I
in the
did
old-
meet her at one of the.
She was at the old shop.
Right.
But that was my buddy Bill did me a solid and got her to come to my little shop in Greer. My
Really?
1,200 square foot.
So the
old
one
shop.
across the street from the one?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
She was sweet.
Was she?
Like, it was just like, how did you get Linda Blair here? And I was like, oh, it's all in who you know, right?
It's a pretty good accomplishment, man.
And then that was the calling card. So then that's when I would, then I was like CJ Graham or one by one. I was like, well, if Linda did it,
You've had so many, though.
Oh yeah, we've had 4 different Jasons.
Candyman.
Tony Todd, yeah.
Yep.
We had 3 people who've already passed. So we had Mark Dodson, who was the voice of all the Gremlins, Salacious
Okay.
Crumb, not all the Gremlins, but a lot of them.
Yeah.
Then Mark Dodson was Salacious Crumb in Return of the Jedi and the Gremlins. We had Carpenter's stunt guy from the first Halloween, Jim Winburn. But he did Escape from New York. He did, he was, I think, in Tron, I don't know if it was Bruce Boxleitner. He was his stunt double.
Yeah.
I think he drove the boat or something in one of the deleted scenes. Because in Escape from New York, they're in a boat. There's like a boat scene or there's something.
Yeah. Her head spins, so it's pretty cool. And then the Beetlejuice, it actually moves and plugs in, and his hands move, and his head spins.
That's crazy. It's literally going to get packed up tonight and brought to the store tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or the next day, but quickly. And then we're going to go through this, itemize it all. And then we're going to work out a deal together because we'll work it out.
Yeah.
I don't know what the value is here yet. He has an idea. I'm going to go check every piece and then determine. And then we're going to, this is to be continued, but I'm not worried. We'll work it out.
Yeah, I'm sure that we will. I mean,
We'll work it
I've
out.
did business with you a lot, and I appreciate what we've done. And like, I know that you're a solid guy, and like, who better to do this because you have the storefront to do it, but you also have the bandwidth and the clientele, and it's gonna be like.
I am running out of room now, so. But
that's why you got to build on some more, right?
We're working on the expansion, so we're getting there. But so this is gonna be cool. So we're gonna pack all this up, head it back to the shop, or he's gonna pack it up. And then we're gonna get the gang and we'll start going through it, and then we'll figure this out. It actually filled the entire van, so I got to explain the whole story to that. So we're gonna bring all this in. So the van was totally full. So he called, it was ready. I went and picked it up, put it all in the van, and then right around that time, it was like 2 to 3 days later, I had to go to a show in Atlanta, which was my buddy's show, Bill, who runs Days of the Dead. So I wasn't going to unpack this all, because I was like, I got to load it all back up again and take it to the show. So we sold about half of it just over the weekend. So we did good. I don't know if when we were filming in his room, this carpet was down. And I must have tripped on it 4 or 5 times while I was in his room. And then I was like, when I set the whole booth up, I put this dead center. And then Bill tripped on it, and a couple of us tripped on it, and we're like, yeah, somebody's gonna get hurt. So then we didn't put it out. It just doesn't want it.
Just don't like.
You keep hitting it. So yeah.
You have to pin it down with.
Well, if we black taped it all the way around. Oh yeah, use crime scene tape.
Right.
So we had somebody in here today, and they were here because of the YouTube.
Yeah.
The horror episode.
Yeah, that's right.
One of them.
They were from like an hour away or
Hendersonville.
Hendersonville.
That's right.
Or 30 minutes.
Go to Retro HorrorCon, they said.
That's right.
Okay, so when this got dropped off, we had to itemize every box. Then we assigned value, put stickers on them, 1,680. Now, what's in these boxes isn't originally what was in them, but the way I had done this is because we still had to come to an agreement. was I valued every box. These all have yellow labels. This one's, that one's here. That one's here. And so then when he would come, if there was any discrepancies on what was, we could itemize this box and determine how we came up with that value. I was able to fit everything in the van except for the saw guy on the little tricycle. And then he brought that. And I think at one point he initially thought there was like 15,000 in value here. And once we totaled everything up, I think we got to 9,700. And so then I was like, this could be, an issue when he gets here. And then he came and I said, so, I went through everything, every piece. And I said, it ain't 15. I said, it's closer to 10. It was 97. And he's like, no, that's about right. So, maybe he was just throwing out a high number, hoping. And I said, so, I'm trying to think, we started at 5 or 6. We settled on $5,500. So, now I'd say about half of that sold, and then the other half was stuff that I took, whether it was Trick or Treat Studios, Leatherface's, just other stuff. So if we were looking some of these boxes now, there's going to be things in here that weren't his. Like for sure this stuff is his, but these giant things from Trick or Treat Studios were not. So now everything's just, because we literally went straight to Days of the Dead, set up at that show, had a blast, just got back yesterday, and so it was just that collection just happened at the perfect time. Like it literally just came in days before I needed to leave to go to this show, and everything worked out. But there's something cool if I could figure out what box I put it in, because there's cool guests there. See, like these are definitely ours. So this is a 1/6 box that we packed, but that was his. This is what are those Living Dead dolls? But that's the part 3 Jason. So definitely not this box. So it's a box that had. See, like this is definitely all his stuff. This was his. Now he did have that Linda Blair, but it sold. This is Funko's. I don't know where we're gonna put all this stuff. Okay, so I think it's gonna be here. These are cool. So there's Halloween Kills masks. Okay, so here's one of them. So I got this from Greg Nicotero, who's kind of like a godfather of special effects. And so these are screen used heads. So I got that from him. And then I got one more. So I'm assuming clearly they got, these are zombies, so it's Walking Dead. But I don't know, it's funny because he just took these out of his, I guess he just got in, just checked in, started setting up his table. And he took these heads out of a duffel bag, which is just weird. And Tom Savini was there, so he walks over. And he's looking at it. And I jump over and I was like, I want to buy this. How much? I think he said it was $600. And Savini's like, well, what if I wanted to buy that one? And I was like, well, if you want to buy it, I'll let you buy it. I ain't going to not let Tom Savini have something. He's like, no, I was just joking. I was like, all right, so then I'm buying it. And then I bought this one. It's like, when do you get a chance to own something that Greg Nicotero did? So it's kind of freaky. But, most of them didn't have hair. So the fact that these had hair, but the fact this one just with the open mouth is just, it's kind of cool, right? You saw these?
That's cool.
Right?
What was it used in again?
Walking Dead.
Nice.
Greg Nicotero.
I think the one on your left, I could swear I saw that on Netflix.
Well, it could have been.
Like,
Didn't he do? What he did all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
But just everybody thinks Walking Dead, but I mean it was geez, Day of the Dead, right? Or the
Right.
Dusk Till Dawn, or
Yeah. Been doing it.
that guy's doing all kinds of stuff. But just when you got this giant open, so yeah, I don't know. I just thought the chance to own something unique by one of the kind of the godfathers of gore in a way, you know, one of the OG, you know, Savini too. But he worked under Savini, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Like
That's not surprising, though, right?
in the beginning, I think.
Savini worked.
Somebody will correct me, but Savini was like the original. Like, and then who's the guy from The Thing, man? That guy's awesome. He went in, he just retired early and did like real estate or something. Long hair.
Yeah. I don't know. I just remember the story.